What up? Sorry for that. We had some technical difficulties on my end, but now that everything rocking and rolling. Thank you all for joining me. And this is the second edition of I have been declared the worst take YouTuber. I have been declared the worst take YouTuber. And hey, I'm here with another worst take, but it is what it is. It is Friday in good old South Carolina. You know, so it's cold, like 20-something degrees now. And I'm like, whoa, they don't have to work tonight. They don't have to do night shift anymore on patrol. Thank you, Lord, for that. Tonight, I'm just going to talk about a little bit about the Sonyverse. And as you can see my title, it was the Sonyverse has truly have a missed opportunity. I realized that last night on the Hangout, I remember Gaiskar telling me that there was a clip that's on YouTube that shows the first 8 minutes of the upcoming movie in the Sonyverse, which is Kraven. So I said, okay, I'll check it out because Kraven, if I'm being honest, it's piquing my interest, and I want to definitely see. I'm probably definitely going to see it next week when it comes out. So as I was thinking about it, and as I saw it, I was like, man, the 8 minutes it shows. I don't want to. Well, shoot, they showed it and they already spoiled it, so I'm going to spoil it. Pretty much showed him. They were on a bus, like they were in Siberia somewhere, and then they stopped for a bathroom break, and they let all the prisoners off the bus, and they were all using the bathroom, and then they were missing one prisoner 8062, whatever his number was. And so they went behind the building and they saw him, and he got on the bus and went to the prison. He walked in. He just was calm and cool and collected everything, and then they fast forward. He's outside working, doing bench press. Two guys come to him like, this is our private territory or whatever. And then they push the bars down on him, on his chest. This sucker, man, he pushes the bars up with the weight and them and throw them off and pretty much kick their butt. And then it fast forward to they take him to see their boss. So their boss want to see who this guy is. And he says, do you know who I am? He walks in the cell. He said, yeah, you so-and-so and so-and-so. You do this, you do that. And your guns kill innocent people, innocent children, all that kind of stuff. And so the guy says, so you know who I am? And then he bends down. He said, who are you? He said, I'm the hunter. And he bends down, and this guy has like a tiger skin rug on his floor inside the cell. And he rubs, and Kraven bends down and is rubbing the tiger's head or whatever. And then they see his hand, and it goes to one of the tiger's fangs, and he pulls it out. Then he starts going to action, man. And next thing you know, he done kill all three of them. Then they show him escaping out of prison. I mean, this sucker got super speed, super strength. He's pulling bars up, and he's going through this. He's jumping from building to building. He's running in the snow. Like the weather don't seem to affect him at all. And I mean, he's just enhanced. Now, as he escapes, he jumps onto the back of his airplane. His airplane is sitting there somewhere in Siberia, wherever the heck it was. And he jumps on the plane and take off. And then that's where it ends. Those are the first 8 minutes of the movie. The movie, to me, that 8 minutes was very interesting. It pulled me into that world. And I'm saying, man, why did they not take the care that they did for Kraven, or what it looks to be so far? Because the special effects look good to me. The fighting, I could see in my mind's eye him fighting Spider-Man because his skills and his strength seem to be on par with Spider-Man. So I'm saying, man, that would be a really cool fight. Him and Spider-Man one-on-one. Or if Sony would have done this right, they could have built this up to Sinister Six. They could have built this up. They could have done Venom the Lethal Protector. They could have done a number of things and lead up to this. I start going back and I'm saying, look, when did this Spider-Verse stuff start? I'm not counting the Spider-Man because the Spider-Man movies were good. I'm counting the ones that did not include Spider-Man. The first one was 2018, Venom 1. And then people like, well, that's not my Venom. That's not my Venom. But Sony is looking at this as a business. So I'm going to try and play devil's advocate on both sides. Now, they came with Venom. And I think the only thing that really sold Venom to me was Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is a very popular actor. Thank you. I've been saying this for a while. Thank you, Gaiskar. Appreciate you coming in. I think what really sold Venom was Tom Hardy. Now, when I went there and saw it, I knew exactly that this was not the 616 Venom. This is not what we saw in the comic books. This is not what we saw in the cartoons. But this is a Venom from a different universe. And I didn't have any problem with that once I realized, okay, this is not the Venom we're used to. And so if you're looking at dollars and cents, Venom, the first Venom, whether you like it or don't like it, it was a success. I did the numbers. 2018, Venom 1 came out. It took $100 million. That was the budget to make the movie. The movie made $856 million. So the usual math to see whether or not a movie is profitable is you multiply the budget times 3 times, and if it makes over that, then it's a profitable movie. Well, you take $100 million, multiply it times 3, that's $300 million. So this movie made over $500 million more than the triple what it took to make it. So Venom 1, whether you like it or not, whether it's yours Venom or not, whether it's your Spider-Man or not, whatever the case, whatever it is, in a negative connotation, Venom made money. I enjoy Venom 1 because I realized it's not the 616 Venom. So fast forward 3 years, 2021, Venom 2 comes out. Let There Be Carnage. Now, the person that they was playing Carnage, Woody Harrelson, who I think would be a fantastic Cletus Cassidy. But some of the writing decisions they made, his girlfriend, that love interest, that love, and then Carnage, he feeling some kind of way. To me, it wasn't as good as the first one, but nevertheless, it made money. You said, Danny, how in the world did that movie make money? Here's how. I'll look it up. 2021, Venom Let There Be Carnage 2 came out. It took $110 million. That was the budget. It made worldwide $506 million. So again, the formula, you multiply 110 million times 3, that's $330 million. It made 506, so it made almost $200 million more than what it took to make it. So Venom 2 is profitable. Again, I know some people like, man, Sony is trash. There's no Spider-Man, there's no this, no that, but nevertheless, the movie was profitable. Whether or not it was enjoyable, whether or not you think it was crap, caca, turd, whatever negative connotation you want to use for it, whatever negative descriptive word you want to use, nevertheless, at the end of the day, dollars and cents, both movies made a movie. Was profitable. Together, they combined for right at $1.3 billion combined, if my math is right. $1.3 billion, almost $1.4 billion combined. So that ain't bad for 2 movies. Then we go to the next movie. This is where it starts going down. The following year, they made Morbius. 2022, Morbius came out. Morbius made $75 million. It took $75 million to make Morbius. Worldwide, Morbius only made $167 million. So if you multiply 75 times 3, that's about $215 million, if I'm not mistaken. It didn't even make that. So, that's tough. That's where Sony started going down. They did it. They hit home runs. I think, like I said, again, I want to say Tom Hardy carried the movie. His name power, his popularity. Woody Harrelson did his part. Involving that girlfriend and then not making Carnage as deadly and lethal as we've seen him in the comic books, I think might have hurt that. But again, you got to realize, you also got to say, look, This is not the 616. This is not my Carnage. This is not my Venom. This is a different universe. This is a different universe take on that. Gaiskar said Morbius was a huge L. Yes, it was. Huge L. But that's when, if it was in my opinion, if I was driving the ship at Sony, that's when I would start making some moves, making some different changes. Saying, hey, look, our first two movies were successful, but what's going on? What do we need to do? Do we need to be more story based? Do we need to make sure that we tap more into the source material or better writing, better whatever? But that's when the ship started heading south. It was heading in a nice trajectory. The first two movies, like I said, combined $1.4 billion. That's not nothing to sneeze at. Then we fast forward to February of 2024, and Madam Web comes out, and I'm like, when I first hear it, I'm like, man, this could have some potential. Saw the preview, wasn't really enthused. Saw the movie, less enthused. Now this movie, the budget was $80 million. $80 million. Guess how much it made worldwide? $100 million. $100 million. So it only made $20 million more than it made. A big L, a big zero, a big goose egg, another flag, another indicator, another look. We're not doing something right. What's going wrong? Our first two movies, we made $1.4 billion combined. Our next two movies, we barely make $260 million combined. Something ain't right. What's up, Fatal Craven LL? I told you this morning it would be trash. No. If you go back and listen to what I'm saying, I'm trying to break it down. And the missed opportunity, like I said, for a recap, Sony had the opportunity to really make these movies connect and lead to the Sinister Six, or lead to Madam Web being getting all the Spider-Mans from different universes, like they did in the comic books, like they did in the cartoons. They really had the building blocks to do it. Like I said, whether or not you like the first two movies, which were Venom 1 and Venom 2, whether you think they were trash, garbage, whatever you want to call it, combined, those two movies made $1.4 billion in that ballpark. That's nothing to sneeze at. Whether you think it's crap or not, Federal J director is begging us to give a chance that is better than the others. It won't work without Spider-Man. The first movie worked without Spider-Man. Whether or not people didn't like it, I don't know, but it made over $856 million, the first movie. So the first movie made this money, just $200 million for making $1 billion. And again, I said that's not because the movie was good. I think it was because on the strength in the back of Tom Hardy. Second movie, Let There Be Carnage. It was $110 million a make, but it made $506 million, which is $500 million. It was profitable. So you add those two together, it's roughly $1.5 billion. That's not nothing to sneeze at. Worldwide, Venom 1 made, I looked up, $856 million worldwide. Venom 1, the first one. The second Venom made $500 million. $500 million. Made $506 million. I'll look all this up before I get on here because I want to make sure my numbers are right. Now, we jump. Excuse me. Again, Madam Web came out 2020. No, correction. Morbius came out 2022. I was like, man, if they do Morbius right. And when I saw the first trailer, I was like, it could have some potential. The actor, people that Joe Leto didn't like him as the Joker. He had a different take. But when I saw him like all deformed, and then when he had the blood in him, and then he looked all muscled up and stuff, I said, this got a potential to do something. Then his actor, the bad guy, was one time Doctor Who, and he played old boy in Damon in God, what's the name of the movie? House of the Dragon. I said, bro, you got good actors, but the story was just crap. The actors, they came there, but they did not have a good story. Some of the special effects in the movie were pretty decent. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but the story was just crap. It was just crap. They didn't have nothing to work with, but they had the talent and the act as far as Leto, boy that plays Damon in House of the Dragon, top notch actors. But like I said, the movie cost $75 million to make. It only made $167 million worldwide. So it didn't even make 3 times, because 3 times 75 would have been close to $220 million. It didn't make that. If it worked for Venom, why people didn't show up for the third one? I'm about to get to that. And the next movie we get to is in February of 2024 this year. Madam Web came out. Total barn fire, dumpster fire. It cost $80 million to make. It only made $100 million. So let that sink in. $80 million to make. They only made $20 million more worldwide. So that was definitely crapola. I'm not even going to discuss any more about that. But those two movies combined, Morbius and Madam Web, barely made $260 million combined. And combined to make, it was $155 million to make. So let that sink in. Now, Fatal, you said if it worked for Venom, why didn't people show up for the third one? Well, let me give you the numbers. Some people did show up. It came out October. Venom 3, The Last Dance. It cost $120 million to make. It made worldwide just under 470. So if you multiply 120 times 3, which is usually what it, for make profitability, that'd be $360 million. It made over that, $468 million. Now, there's a drop from the first one. Yes. The first one made 856. The second one made 506. The third one made 468. But if you add all those together, the 3 Venom movies combined, $14, $15, $17, $18, $19, $13, made $1.8 billion. So for 3 movies, that's not bad. I'm not saying movies are good. I'm just saying that if you crunch the numbers say that it was profitable. That franchise, the Venom franchise by itself, that chunk made over $1.8 billion, almost $2 billion. So Fatal J, because people didn't watch it, they say there was no Spider-Man and pointless. Villains don't work without heroes. Sweeney was so fine, though, better in Black Cat outfit. Danny, that's not how that worked. You're not adding marketing. It didn't break even. I'm just telling you how I look it up. It says you multiply 3 times what the cost is, and that tells you whether or not the movie is profitable. I'm just going by what it says on Google and what I've heard from other YouTubers. But worldwide, that's what it made. Worldwide, if you look at what it made, all 3 combined made a little less than $2 billion. So 3 movies making almost $2 billion. I don't know. Is the movies good? I'm not saying any of the movies good. I am saying I enjoyed the first Venom, and I am saying that the second Venom I didn't like at all. Kind of, if I got to give it 20%, I liked. 80% I didn't like. The last Venom, the end of it I liked. The third act, first and second act was really slow and boring, but the third act I thought is what saved the movie, what gave it a little bit of interest that I did have. I only watched it one time in the theater. I won't watch it again in a theater ever. But if it comes on streaming service, I might watch it. But just like I said, those are the numbers. Not saying these movies are. Sony had an opportunity to really build something here in this universe, but like I said in my title, it's a missed opportunity. They blew it because, like I said, today I watched the first 8 minutes of Kraven, and Kraven it does not look bad. I'm just telling you, it does not look bad. If they would have done this right the whole time, they could have built up the Kraven. Kraven could have been the 6th member of the Sinister Six, and they could have made something else But they could have done each solo movie with Spider-Man being in each one, and then work up to the Sinister Six, because in each movie, prior to them building up, he defeat each one. Then they come together, maybe in this movie, say, it's time we combine forces or something and go after the Spider. Then the next movie could have been the Sinister Six. If they would have done that, this would have been so much better now, but it's crazy. Marketing costs millions too, sometimes even close to the budget of the movie. They don't just film the movie and drop it in theaters. They have to promote. I'm not saying it did. I'm just telling you the formula that's used on, I saw on Google. You take what they make, you multiply it down 3 times, and that 3 times is marketing, location. The same way that they have a lot for marketing, a lot of times too, when they film in certain locations, they get rebates and refunds. So they film, for instance, you film in Canada, it's cheaper than filming here in the United States. If you're filming in Atlanta, it's cheaper than filming in California. So certain locations give these films and stuff certain rebates and certain cost cuts if they film in their location and use certain things. But like I said, that's just a basic, bare bone formula that I've used, but you could be totally right. It could be more than that. But I'm just saying, when we look at the box office on most movies, like how much is it profitable? Yes, I can tell you, if a movie only costs $100 million, it made $800 million, that movie is profitable. I don't care what kind of marketing they use. That movie is profitable. Now, the other two, it may be less, but that movie made it $856 million. It only cost $100 million to make. That's 7 times. So I'm fairly certain that movie was profitable. Don't understand. The other two may be a little bit closer, but just go on that bare formula. Now, I'm trying to figure out, why did they rush? Because Morbius came out in 2022, then Madam Web came out in 2023 in February. Then they pump out another Sonyverse universe movie in October, and now we see in Craven next week. So they did 3 movies in 1 year, and then 2 of them they did less than a month apart. So I mean, to me that's crazy. I've never seen that in a universe. But like I said, and I looked it up, Craven cost somewhere between 110, 150 million dollars to make. So I'm very curious to see how well it's going to do. This is coming in before Christmas. If it was me, I'd try to put it closer to Christmas, because a lot of times I know after the Christmas holidays, families like to go and watch movies. I'm not sure. After 2 weeks, it's probably going to lose some steam for as far as that Christmas viewing steam. I don't know. But if it was me, I'd have put it maybe the week of, or maybe the week before Christmas, not just a week. But like I said, they made it cost between 110 and 150 million dollars, according to Google. So I'm very curious to see what it's going to see. Like, again, I'm going to say, if you haven't seen the first 8 minutes of Craven, they have it available on YouTube. I watched it this morning. I discussed with Gaiskar, Anzo, a couple other people. Anzo agrees with me that it looks okay. I think I reached out to Abu Naz. He said he didn't really care for it. I think Phil said he's not going to watch it. I'm not sure other people I've sent it to and reached out to, but it's very interesting. Like I said, based on the aggression that I saw from the actor, the special effects didn't look bad to me. His powers seemed to be on par with Spider-Man's, and some of the stuff he was doing, and his aggression, like I said, his look. So it's gonna be interesting. But again, this is Sony universe, the Sonyverse. They had so much opportunity, so much time to get this thing right and get it done right. They can't sit here and say dumb things like Kathleen Kennedy saying there's no source material. There is gangs and gangs and books and comic book stores full of source material. They should have went there. If they would have done that right, Sony would have been very close on the heels, in my opinion, of the MCU. And I know somebody's saying, "Oh no, Daniel." If they would have done it correctly, because Spider-Man is one of the 3 most popular superheroes, recognizable superheroes globally, not in the United States, but worldwide. Superman number 1, Batman number 2, Spider-Man's number 3. If they would have done Spider-Man properly and have him in each one of these movies fighting each one of these villains, and then work up to the Sinister Six, this could have been something very, very special. But for whatever reason, they didn't have the foresight, the insight, the vision, I don't know, whatever. And like I said, the title of my show is Sony Blew It. They just flat out blew it. They have a missed opportunity. They can't fix it. And it's just a sad thing because as a lover of comic books, a lover of superhero movies, I want all of them to fail. I mean, I want all of them to be successful. I don't want none of them to fail. And when one fails, to me, that just makes it that much stronger of an argument for people that don't like them to say, see, I told you, this is just a fad. This is just a fad. It's not going to last. So I want all these comic book movies to be successful, to make sense, to have connective tissue, to connect the A to B, C to D to E to F. And Marvel, MCU was doing that at first. DCU is catching up now. I'm not sure what James Gunn's going to do. I watched some Fatal's review on the on that new thing James Gunn doing. I can't think of it. Not Monster Squad, but it's I'm having a brain fart. The thing about they're not humans. They're different kind of heroes. But I watched that and check them out. And for those of you that may watch this in the playback or whatever, definitely check out Fatal J. He has very good material content, very entertaining guy. Check it also to Hangout, Gaiskar, myself, DJ, Austinator. Check us out, G Major. And but this is, like I said, was just my rant. I saw that movie today. I mean, that clip, the first 8 minutes, I was like, man, Sony had it. Sony was given the keys to the kingdom with Spider-Man, and they just blew it. And it's very sad because this could have been something very, very special. Whenever they include MCU, this stuff, the Spider-Man movies are very successful. I don't know why they didn't get Kevin Feige's direction or whoever direction to try and improve these standalone movies. Like I said, statistically, I mean, financially, Venom 1 was the most profitable one out of all these movies. So they started off good, the same way Iron Man started off, the same way Jon Favreau and Kevin Feige took a chance on Iron Man and rolled the dice. Iron Man was successful. They did the same thing with Venom. They could have parlayed that into Lethal Enforcer. They could have done Sinister Six, all different kind of things, a plethora of things they could have done, but they didn't do it. But again, can't worry about spilled milk. But if you agree with anything I'm saying, please leave a like. Please leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. And like I said, I have been declared by some as the worst tech YouTuber. I hope this take was not worse, was considered a bad one for y'all that's watching it and those that's going to watch it in the future. But let me know what you're thinking. Like I said, you can catch me also on my channel, The Road to Wisdom, where I upload every Monday and every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Try to give you some spiritual and positive information to digest during your day, during your week. And I definitely hope to see you over there. Also, on Wednesday nights, you can find me out on the Hangout on the Basco scenario with my main man, like I said, Gaiskar, DJ, Austinator, and G Major. Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find me on Storms Live, again with me, Robert, Gaiskar, and DJ, talking about anything, man. If it's entertaining, we try to talk about it. So, again, thank you all for joining me. I definitely appreciate it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I pray that Craven won't be a disaster. Please don't let it be a disaster. Please don't let it be a disaster. Don't let it be a Madam Web Part 2. We can only hope. We can only pray. So until next time, take it easy. Peace.